We all know that getting involved with someone without protection is a bad idea. So why do we keep ignoring the need for contracts? Over the years, I've had to come to terms with the fact that I am a rather odd duck when it comes to how much I love contract language. I love reading it, I love writing it. Nothing makes me happier than diving into a very complex document. I especially love when I can transform it into something from confusing and convoluted to elegant and sophisticated in how it presents the solution we found during some epic negotiation. But not all of you feel the same way. And that means you may be tempted to just skip the whole step entirely when you're doing business. And that would be a mistake. You need the protection in your business, but that doesn't always mean you need some giant 100-page document, right? You don't always need a sledgehammer to crack a little nut. Sometimes just your fingers will do. So how can you tell when you need to break out the big guns or you can rely on a smaller, streamlined document? Now, I'm not a lawyer, this is not legal advice, but my rule of thumb is that the intensity of your contract will directly relate to the risk the deal presents for your business. So what I mean by that, if you're doing a $100 thing, a $100 coaching call, the risk of that, if it doesn't get paid, okay, probably won't end your business. If it's a little iteration on a previous project you did with a client you already worked with and you really enjoyed working with, in one of those cases, the risk is pretty low, so you should be able to just rely on the terms and conditions you already have on your website. But if it's a $50,000 12-month consulting contract, you're gonna need a contract. If it is a 35 deliverable extravaganza for a brand new client, yeah, you're going to want a big boy document to cover all the details, all the nitty gritty, all of your responsibility, all of the client's responsibility, and absolutely all the what ifs. What if something goes wrong? What if you get sick? What if they get sick? What if someone doesn't pay? What if they don't like the product you deliver at the end? All sorts of stuff is going to be poured into that contract, and it's going to cover your butt if something goes wrong. Because we all hope something doesn't go wrong. But let's face it, this is real life. Things happen. You want to make sure you have a document that covers your butt. So my challenge for you this week is to check out 2 of the resources I have that will help you with your contracts. The first is a video I did on my tried and tested process for reviewing a legal document. Because when you just get handed that contract, oh, no, the feelings, you don't want to deal with it. But I have a process that I've been using myself for at least the last 10 years to go through contracts without losing your mind. Promise, it'll actually be, dare I say, a pleasurable experience for you. The second resource I have is an article about using plain old English in your contracts. You don't need to turn into some sort of highfalutin, fancy, legally speaking robot when you create your contracts. Plain old English can do the trick. Especially because it means everyone understands. What on earth is in that document? You don't need 18 degrees to understand what your obligations are. So I'm going to be linking to those 2 resources below, and your homework is to go check them out. Got it? Good. See you next time.